Hey guys, so this is the first video that I've done in a minute. Definitely the first since my channel has kind of, I won't say taken off because it's not there yet, but it definitely has traction, it definitely has wings, and it's a fledgling channel. And so I really want to say quickly first, thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed and liked and commented, especially because I love hearing your stories. That's the whole purpose of this, and so I love that. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This video actually was inspired by a comment that I received, and it was just talking about sex and after trauma sex. And so this is my story, and the name of it is My Story About Sexual Confidence. So for any of you, if this is the first video of mine that you're watching, I went through some sexual abuse, some trauma while growing up in different settings. And if you saw my video, my first time with a gay man, non-sexual, in that video I kind of describe how that first time, as is kind of normal for most people, I was super nervous and super frozen. But that continued after that. Like even afterwards I joined the military, and as one does when you're young and the world is your oyster, I'm going out to clubs and meeting guys and going back home with them, and it was the same kind of situation, one night stand deal, and you'd start off with the foreplay kind of stuff, and all that was great. But the moment that I felt that the situation was going to escalate into something more intense, that's when the nerves kicked in, and they always kicked in. And it was to the point to where I would, now looking back at it, I find it funny, even though it wasn't at the time, but I kind of felt like one of those Santa Claus toys, to where like you touch it and it starts shaking, because that's exactly what I did. I would tremble. And it was a mixed bag of emotions. Part of it was just wondering where this was going to lead, if it was going to lead to something traumatic. The other part of it was just feeling insecure, and all that ended up with me, like my self-loathing state that I was in just amplified with these situations. And I will say that I was lucky enough that the guys that I were with, they found it adorable. And not only that, but they were usually, always actually respectful. And they would say, hey, are you okay? Did you want to stop? Do you want to continue? And I did, I wanted to continue. I really did want this. I just didn't know how to cope with the emotions that were running rampant in my brain. And so that was the case. I shook. And eventually it stopped, but again, the lack of self-esteem, the lack of just being confident in myself, that meant that I was not going to do much. I was not going to contribute much to the planning of what was going to happen. And that's what it was. Not just with the one-night stands, but even with my first boyfriend. I was afraid to do anything, and because of that, I think this is normal in every sexual relationship, to where there's a position that is assigned. And for me, initially that was bottom. And again, it was because there was no other choice for me. There was no way I was ever going to do anything else but to just follow the lead. And that happened, like I said, continued even with my first boyfriend. The entire time, that's what it was. And the sucky part about that, because there was an element to where I'm a people pleaser, and I enjoyed seeing people's reaction to enjoying me, if that makes any sense. So there was a part of me that I was satisfied with that, but just in general, when I thought about sex and what it was going to feel, and what I hoped that it would be, that wasn't happening. And I'm not gonna say bored, because that's such a horrible thing to say, but just not satisfied. Yeah, I wasn't satisfied. I thought, oh, this is it. This is what everyone's been talking about. Like wow, it looks so different in a porno or whatever, you know. That's what I was thinking, like, okay, I guess this is it. And that's how it was again. But this is how it changed for me, and it was just the weirdest thing. So again, all of the one night stands that I had, my boyfriend that I was with for a year and a half, the guy that I cheated on him with, like all of that was the same kind of situation. I played the same role. And it wasn't until after my boyfriend left me and I started having, you know, meeting guys again and doing the little one night stand thing. And I was on a trip somewhere and I met this guy, and he was a college dude. And it was so weird because he was maybe a year or two younger than I was, but to me, I think of him as the college kid only because he had the whole get up on, you know, where he had like the baggy jeans with the frayed bottoms and a nose ring, and his hair was like yellow blonde, you know, like just someone that wasn't my normal type. But there was just something about him that even at the club, I thought this dude is special, you know? So we go back to his place, and again, it's that college environment where there's like 20 people living in an apartment, and in his bedroom, it was like this cheap blow up air mattress, very thin. And that's pretty much, that was all in his room. And so we'd start doing our thing. And what was different about him that kind of just changed my life was that he wasn't, I guess I felt like with everyone else, there was a rush to get to the end point. And with him, he was very like super chill. Did he smoke a joint beforehand? That's not for me to say, but just super relaxed, super like, let's take our time. Let's, you know, this isn't a race. And he was also very communicative and very comforting, you know, and it was like, hey, what do you want to do next? And that might not be everyone's ideal situation, but for me, I was taken aback, like, whoa, this is totally a unique experience, and I like it, you know. And because of that, because I felt that was the first time where I felt comfortable with someone, and I felt like I wasn't a kid, and that my input was going to be useful to both of us. And that's the other thing. Like there was this sense of, I want us both to enjoy this that I can't really say I had experienced before that. And because of that, I was able to say, hey, can I try this? Can I try that? And he was super up for it. Yeah, sure. So that was the first time that I topped. And man, this is 4th of July. Today is 4th of July, but fireworks. Fireworks. I just thought, this is what people were talking about. The only way that I can describe this, like if someone has described the color yellow to you, but they're showing you splotches of green, and you're like, well, they're both colors, and I guess there's some aspects of what I thought was yellow that's in green, but maybe that is yellow. And then finally someone shows you a yellow splotch, and you're like, that's what I was hoping yellow was going to be. This is what I thought it was going to be. Totally changed everything. That started me on this journey to where I was able to kind of have input, and it be this joint activity instead of just one person leading and the other person too afraid to join, you know, and just, it changed everything. So it got me to the point where I realized, okay, I am a top, and this is what I enjoy. And the whole people pleasing thing, I was still doing that. I was still pleasing, just in a different way. So that's the story. The reason why I wanted to tell the story is for that person who left me the comment. I want you to know that not just my story of how I was able to gain confidence sexually, but the only thing I could say to you is that you don't need that person to do that for you. You can, on your own, decide that with self-esteem. That's the thing. He helped me to get that, to be confident in self-esteem and to have good self-esteem as far as that goes, and to be secure in myself, in my sexuality, and to be able to voice what I wanted. He gave me the opportunity, but I didn't need for him to give it to me. I could have given it to myself, because we all deserve that. Ultimately, sex in the ideal situation is between two consenting adults, and they both should have a say in how it's going to go down. And your needs and what your desires, that's something that you should always not put ahead of someone, but put right alongside of them. So that's it. So again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your own stories. Tell me if you had a different route of how you were able to become sexually confident. I want to hear it. And until next time.